Hi everyone, welcome to our live stream and thank you for tuning in. My name is Joey and I'm from the community team at LottieFiles. As we have folks tuning in from across the globe, do give yourself a shout out on the live chat or drop a comment to say hi and tell us where you're from. For those tuning in for the first time, let me start by giving you a quick intro to who we are and what we do. LottieFiles is a platform for testing, collaborating, and discovering animations for a community of designers and developers. The platform offers a range of tools and features that aim to make the discovery, creation, and implementation of Lottie animations easier and more efficient. To give you an even better idea, here's an intro video to what LottieFiles is all about.
I've got a big fat drum, big fat drum. I've got a big fat drum, pounding so bad. I've got a big fat drum, big fat drum. I've got a big fat, big.
Listen. Yeah. Clap. You ready? Let's go.
We hope you enjoyed that intro. So for today's session, we have Xiang, our senior product designer, and Daniel, our principal product designer. They will be demonstrating what you can do with the LottieFiles Figma plugin and the tips and tricks around it. So without further ado, let us welcome our speakers today.
Hello, everyone.
Hello, everyone. Happy to be here.
Right, so before we begin, would you like to introduce yourself to our viewers?
Yeah, for sure. Hi, everyone. I'm Xiang. I'm a senior product designer working in LottieFiles. I'm mostly focusing on the mobile app that we have.
Hello, everyone. My name is Dan, and I'm the principal designer at LottieFiles, and I'm heading, the education team. So I'm really happy to be here.
Amazing. Thank you so much. All right, so let's not put our audience in any more suspense and start the live stream today. And folks, feel free to drop your question for Xiang and Dan on the live chat, and they'll get to them at the end of the session. All right, folks, I'll be moving myself to backstage, and I'll see you back during the Q&A session.
All right. Give a hand to Joey for doing a great job, everyone.
Thanks.
All right, cool. Okay, so to get things started, we're going to talk about the LottieFiles plugin for Figma. So what we have here is a prototype that I've made to really just showcase what are some of the things that you can do with the LottieFiles plugin. So I made a Pinterest knockoff app called Quid. So what happens when I tap into it is that tap, boom, and nice little LottieFiles animation right there. Kind of cool, but let me show you something that we can do that's even cooler. Normally, you see these things where people pull down to refresh. It's hard to kind of like describe that through design.
Yeah.
But I can tell you can do that through a prototype. Let me show you how. You just have to pull it, and it works. Look, a cute little loader, and there's a nice little skeleton loading, and click again, boom. Totally looks like a nice little prototype of a pull down to refresh interaction. And all of this is possible through the Figma plugin for LottieFiles plugin for Figma. All right. I'm going to tell you how you're going to replicate this particular pull down to refresh interaction. But before that, I'm going to pass the time to Dan to really show you the in and outs of how the plugin itself looks like. All to you, Dan.
Thank you so much, Shan. That looks beautiful. Every time that Shan shows me that animation, I get impressed. So let's just start with the basics. And let me explain you just a little bit what you can do with the plugin. And later on, we'll go back to Shan, and he will show you all the different things that you can do in the prototype. So for example, we have 3 different examples here, 3 different empty screens. And the first thing you need to do, of course, you have to enter to the plugins and go to the LottieFiles plugin. But in case you didn't install it yet, so you just can go to community and over there type LottieFiles and go to the plugins tab. Over here, as you can see, we already have installed, and we have around 140K people that also, they are loving this plugin. Now, let's go to plugins, and let's go also to the LottieFiles plugin. Over here, you will see the pop-up, and we have 3 different tabs. The first one is to convert a Lottie. So you just can drag and drop any JSON or .lottie file over here, and you can import it to your Figma file. Then also you have preview. So this preview actually is taking all the different animations that you have in your private library. And finally, you have search. So in search, you can find any Lottie. In this case, we can type music from our public Lottie library, where we have thousands and thousands of animations. So this is very easy. Just select one, and you just can put it to your Figma file. In our case, just to beautify this design, so let's go to our private library. And over here, for example, we have this animation. Yeah, in this case, I will select the animation, and I can click on Convert to GIF. So what the plugin will do is it will take the Lottie animation, and once we'll hit Add to Figma, it will just insert as a GIF. So for example, we can put it over here. And if we want to preview it, so just select the frame, let's hit play. And sometimes, yeah, it takes a little bit to load, but believe me, it's there. We'll go back to here. Now, let's continue with this other screen. So in this case, what we will do is to use another feature for our LottieFiles plugin. For example, something that probably most of the people and many of the designers don't realize, that LottieFiles library, it's also probably the biggest library of illustrations in the world. So why I'm saying illustrations? Because, for example, each one of these animations, they're actually also a way that you can import it as an SVG. And imagine all the different possibilities that you can have, frame by frame. So just select the frame you like the most, let's say this one, and I would just click on Insert as SVG. There you go, boom. Very easy. And yeah, because it's an SVG, so you can edit the different colors or anything you want. So for example, if I would like to change the color of the moon, I would just click over here, and maybe we can add some pink or maybe purple. And in the same way, we can change the color of the flag. Also, maybe we can try this purple over here. And why not the color of the Bitcoin? There you go. So imagine all the different possibilities that you have just browsing the different animations that we have over here. Now, you may be saying or wondering, yeah, of course, right now you have, some Lottie animations, but yeah, most of them, it looks like they have like a white background, but we got you covered. For example, over here, we have our music app, and we would like to add this animation. In this case, we can use the same hexadecimal code. So for example, I will just copy this one. I will come here, and I will paste the hexadecimal code here. Hit OK, and convert to GIF. So since this will take a little bit of time, I already have, the GIF prepared. And the only thing you need to do is to place it over here. And if we would like to see the animation, there you go. So as simple as that. It just takes you, just a few seconds to add your Lottie animation to your Figma files. Let me check if this is ready. Just try one more time. Still not, but anyways, let me show you something else. The last thing I promise you. Some people probably wonder, like, yeah, doing the animations, it takes some time. It's very overwhelming, or probably I don't know how to use After Effects. So for this, we create this other tool that is called SVG to Lottie. So what this tool does is to create very quick animations just using some SVG icons or illustrations. And, this, you actually can find it everywhere. For example, just browsing in our site, we have all these different illustrations, which are SVG, and we just can animate this one. So I will be using this tool called Join. that the only thing that will do is just to help me to hold the SVG. So the only thing, as you can see, I'm just dragging and dropping the SVG over here to join. And if I come back here to SVG to Lottie, I would just drag and drop it. And it will create different versions of animations that we have for this SVG. For example, if you want to animate the stroke, there you go. And if we would like this animation, the only thing you need to do is to upload it to the preview that will upload to your private library, or you can also download it as a Lottie. Both ways are really good. In our case, I would just upload it to preview. And the reason because of that is that we are using LottieFiles library as the hub to connect all the different design tools and prototyping tools. So since I already upload this, I just can come back here and go to preview. Sometimes it doesn't load, so the only thing you need to do is to refresh it. For that, just open again the LottieFiles plugin and just come back here, and there you go. So select this one, and again, you have the two different options, and you can convert this as a GIF. And also, one thing, meanwhile this is converting. Yeah, what if you would like to edit this? So for that case, we can download it as a Lottie, and we can come here, and the only thing we need to do actually is to drag and drop our Lottie animation or JSON. And in this case, just let me do it. So I'll just drag and drop it, and you will be able to change so many things here. So for example, just to play a little bit, we can probably choose like this green color, and we hit update. There you go. You just want to upload this animation, so that's super easy. Just come here, upload to my preview. So just wait like a few seconds, and this will also be part of your private library. So as you can see, there are many ways that you can add your Lottie animation. And I think this is done, so I would just click add to Figma. There you go. And maybe we can test it here. So let me move this. And yeah, these are all the different ways that you can use your Lottie animations. So now that you know the basics, I will go back to Xiang, and if you have any questions, I will be waiting you in the Q&A. Thank you so much, guys.
All right. Thank you, Dan, for that amazing breakdown of what the LottieFiles plugin can do on Figma. So, as I said before, I'm just gonna show you how I did this particular pull down to refresh kind of interaction. So most of you guys might think, oh, it takes so much effort to animate. Not really, especially with the LottieFiles plugin. It's very easy. So what happens here is, let me just show you what my existing screens are. So what happens at a pull down to refresh kind of thing, you kind of just need 4 screens. So first, second, third, and fourth. Fourth being the destination screen. So what we're going to do here is we're going to just duplicate this screen. And then I already made, using Figma's variant, I already made another variant called, oh no, this is the wrong one. Give me a second there. So using Figma's variant, I'm able to create different states of it. So this is like the first state, second state, and third state. So all I have to do is copy this, paste it here, drag it down. So let's just say this is the optimum location that I want to put it. I'll duplicate this and say bye-bye to this one. So right now we got point A and point B. So I want to change point B details. All I have to do is just change the state to layout 2. Oh, the wonders of Figma variants. So now exactly how to do the particular moment of the pull down the refresh part. So now that's the question we all are asking, right? So we obviously need animations. Where we're going to go to? Obviously the LottieFiles plugin. So we right click, we go plugins and LottieFiles. So I want 2 animations in particular. I want a loading animation, and I also want a skeleton loading one. So it looks like the content is also changing. So I already made a custom one. So what I'm going to go to do is I'm going to go to my previews. I'm going to go for this one because I want this particular effect for the loading. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to convert this to a GIF. Boom, just like that. Ready already. Add to Figma, and it's there. This is the first animation I need. Next one, I need a loading animation. I don't have that. So I'm going to start looking through LottieFiles asset library. So reminder, LottieFiles asset library is by the millions. So you can literally find anything you want, hopefully. You can quote me on that, kind of. So if you type loading or any keywords that you want, just hit that in. And what happens here is they're going to give you a bunch of loading animations, right? A hand, 3 dots. So let's say I really want this thing. I just click this. I pick the one I want. So let's say I want this one. I want particularly this one, right? So I want it at 2 states, one as an animation and one as an SVG. So I'm going to insert it as an SVG first so that I'll show you why in a bit. I don't know why is it red color, but that's it. We have stuff to work on. But yeah, you can easily change the color of it to whatever color you want because, you know, it's an SVG. Ta-da! And just like that, it goes back to gray. The next part is you want it as a GIF. So you convert it to GIF. And boom, just like that, the GIF is also ready. Click on it. And there we go. We have our assets ready to go. So you might be asking, hey, the GIF is kind of like white. Don't worry. Figma got you covered. All you have to do is just toggle this little playtime thingy. And then you can kind of see and kind of dictate where you want the animation to start from. So obviously, it won't fit here. So what I already did before this little session is that I already cut out the animation to be exactly the size I want so that it will take less time. You know how cooking shows does it? I'm doing it here. So we just take that. And what we're going to do here is try to make use of these 2 elements into our design. So step 1 is to really have that interaction of it. I'll show you. So the first one is basically this. You pull it down and you want your animation to be, your loader to be somewhere in the middle, right? So let's say it's here. Make sure it's centered. So this is the SVG file. Is it the SVG file? Yes, it's the SVG file. Okay, so the SVG file stays here. But what you're going to do is to have that effect of it coming down, what to do is you kind of just duplicate it, paste it here, and all you have to do is just make it size 1. And then, oh no. Okay. Size 1. Oh no. Okay, give me a second. Yeah, everyone. I'm so sorry. Scale. Yeah, there are things you have to do to make it like, you know, to animate. You have to do a lot of small things. So things like making it scale and stuff. So fixed width and stuff like that. Hopefully when I click one, it changes. No, it doesn't. That's it again. But what I'm going to do here is make it appear instead. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to make it 0%. So it's going to appear like it's appearing in a bit. And what I'm going to do next is replace the SVG with the animation. So I'm going to replace this part with the animation. So what happens here is that the animation will take center and it will start animating. So now that you got all your pieces together, all you have to do is kind of stitch it together. So you take the first screen, you prototype it, and just say you want this part to, when it goes to this screen, you want it to smart animate. So this here, you'll take names of similar names and then move it around. So what happens here is this layer will go down, and the layer we made it disappear earlier will appear in the middle, something like that. So with that done, what we're going to do is to connect the second part. So you click this. I want it to automatically change. So what happens is I'll say after delay, let's say like around like a fourth of a second, I guess. It'll slowly change. And then when that is done, I'll do a manual toggle, which means on tap to do that. So hopefully, with everything that I've done, it should reflect like what we did initially. So as I pull down, oh wait, no, I did not add the on. Oh, sorry, it's on tap. Herder on drag. So on drag, it will work. Okay, cool. Yes, it kind of works. Okay, so what's next is that you have to kind of take the skeleton loading and add it in. So you might be asking yourself, how do you add that loading in fast, you know? So what happens here is I'm going to create another variant. So this was my loading variant earlier, right? So I'm going to create a new one. I duplicate this. I rename this state to loading 2. So in loading 2, I'm just going to say, hey, I don't really want any of this. I just want the loading overlay of this. Oh, sorry. That's like spoilers. Sorry. Oh no, that's spoilers. Okay. Just pretend it's not there. Okay, so let's assume that this is just 4 empty rectangles here. And then what you're gonna do here is actually, you know what? This will be faster. Okay, so what happens here? I'm gonna remove these ones and rename this as state 4. So this one, oh, why is it? Okay, some technical issues here. Sorry, give me a second. Okay, why is it like that? Okay. Oh, because there's another one before that. I'm sorry. Some technical difficulties, yeah. Obviously it happens during the demo. Okay, perfect. That's the one I want. Okay, cool. So all you have to do is just change the state to loading 2. Okay, so remember earlier I had this loading. Hold on, let me zoom out. Oh, where did it go to? Okay, no mind. We can easily bring it back just by right-clicking, plugins, go to my previews because it's my private animation. Click on it, and then you just insert as GIF, and it should appear. Where did it go to? As you go in, it should appear in. There we go. Okay. So now I got my GIF. All I have to do is right-click, copy and paste the properties. So here you press copy properties. So what exactly I'm doing here is copying the properties of the GIF, which is what we uploaded just now. So by copying it, all you have to do is select the overlays and the 4 blocks that I've selected earlier, and just have to right click and paste the properties. So let me just add some rounded corners so it fits the vibe. And now all of these are individual GIFs. So from earlier, we saw just the content that moved down, right? So what happens here is if I pull it down now, I need to change the content. So let's say if I change my loading screen here to my loading 2 that we just made, what's it gonna look like? It's something like this. So as I pull down, ta-da! It looks like everything's loading. Like, you know, cool in it. So yeah, that's basically how you can get it done. Obviously, I did some technical hiccups here and there, but that's basically how you can do the pull to refresh kind of interaction. And that's pretty much it. It's time to move on to Q&A. That was hilarious. I was having fun. Let's just welcome back Joey and then on back to the session. Yeah. Woo!
Thanks
Smiles
so
everywhere.
much, Xiang. And thanks, Dan, for the amazing session. So I hope everyone had as much fun as we did backstage. All right. So if you have any question for Xiang and Dan, feel free to drop it on the live chat. And while we wait for the questions to flow in, let's get to some that were submitted to us before the live stream. Right. So the first one, what is the best way to hand off my animation using Figma?
Okay, I'll just pick this up real quick. So normally when I do designs, or let's say when I hand over specifically animation related screens, what I do is I have this handy little component called a note. So when I pass, oh no, it's not here. What you can do is normally just add a note down like this. And it's like this, and just tell the developers note to dev. Can't spell dev. Maximum 3 loops, lasts for 4 seconds. So normally I would just put notes like this underneath the design just to give them a heads up. So hey, by the way, when you implement this little Lottie JSON file, you need to make sure that this has these particular rules. Obviously, there are things that you have to take in account. Maybe you can animate the first 20% or 30%. So that's really up to you to define those kind of Lottie interactions. I think there's a lot more you can learn about it on the LottieFiles website. But yeah, that's basically it.
Yeah, and
Thanks
just
so much,
adding,
Xiang.
a little bit to it. After you finish to animate this in After Effects, so normally you just can pass it in a JSON file, and this is like an amazing tip from Xiang. be clear in the things that they can do and not in your animation in the Figma file. So that helps a lot and clarifies many things. So nobody's supposing how much time you should take the animation or not.
All right, thanks so much. And then there is one more from the registration form. Can we control Lottie animation in Figma, like the animation on a scroll, active, stop, on click, etc.? I think Xiang covered this earlier as well, but maybe you can elaborate more on this, Xiang.
So yeah, like we showed earlier through the prototype features that Figma offers, there's a lot of ways you kind of introduce the Lottie animations in. So for illustration purposes, you can definitely use the prototype. So the more you hold the prototype, you can define it like after delay or mouse up, mouse center. In fact, you can say drag on tap. So all these things are, you can even do those like those hovering animations. So you hover over certain elements and it animates. So it's really up to you on how to use the Figma's prototyping tools to make that happen. So yeah, totally possible.
Right, awesome. And I think we have some questions on the live chat. Xiang and Dan, would you like to take a look and see which one we should get to first?
Let's have a look.
Sure.
Can we use
This
the
was not-
question from? Sorry, I'll have a look. Sorry, I'm reading it out loud in my head.
No worries, just let me know because there's a few.
I have one question that I can answer, I think. So we have from Surabhi. Sorry if I, just chopping your name, but she says like, "Hi, GIF is heavier, and it's suggested not to use the GIF." So in this case, because we are using the LottieFiles plugin right now, I think probably GIF is the best solution. So we can, it's the best way probably to show the developers how the animation will look like. Of course, the moment when you will implement, you will be using, a JSON file. So
Yep.
at the end, it will be like, the lighter version that we use, but just for, showcase purposes, you just can use the GIF.
Yep, because it's mainly used for prototypes, and yeah, it's just mainly to get the message across, like how it looks and stuff like that. So yeah,
Exactly.
We hope that cleared your doubt. Any more question that we'd like to pick up, Xiang, then?
then
We
someone
have
has a
another-
question for you. Yeah,
Yeah.
about the gradient background. Huh?
Oh yeah,
no,
that's
just-
one from Anthony. Thanks, Anthony. You're awesome too. So he has a question for Dan. How to add LottieFiles GIF when I have gradient background?
So some of the animations it work with gradient. So it's kind of miss and try, to be honest. For example, we were working with different animations that have gradient, and it works really good. Some of them, depending on which kind of effect that you are using inside After Effects, so maybe it won't work. So normally I would suggest just to use the effects natively from After Effects. Don't try to use any kind of plugin, because most of the time they don't work. And also, like, a very quick tip that, to be honest, it took me like a lot of time to realize when I started animating this. If you are using gradients, you need to save your After Effects file before exporting that. And it looks like it's a glitch, but the thing that I was doing, normally I just open After Effects, I have like untitled, my work, and I don't save it. Then when I was trying to export, so I have like the gradient not showing up, and I have just a version in black and white, and I was like wondering why this is going on. I took like, for real, like a couple of days to realize that once I click save and then I export, so we can see the gradients. That is one thing. And the other thing also is that we need to be careful, because some of the times, like, the gradients, they are not supported, for example, by Safari or some other platforms. So we always need to test. For example, we have the LottieFiles app for the iPhone. Actually, it's from Xian's team, and you can scan the QR code and make sure that your lot is working there. So if you see that your lot is working exactly as the plugin that we have in After Effects, so make sure that we don't have any problem. And we have the app for Android and iOS, so just go for it. So yeah, these are the things that I can say for the grading.
Thanks so much, Dan. Anthony, we hope that answered your question. Apart from, while we're still waiting for more questions, Xiang and Dan, are there any tips and tricks that you usually use that you'd like to share with the viewers today?
Yeah, sorry for that. There is one question from Wong.
Okay.
Can use Figma
Oh,
export
yeah.
SVG animation?
Sorry, I missed that. Let's see.
No problem.
Okay. So this is from Wong. Yeah. Can we use Figma to export SVG animation?
And yes, I mean not SVG animation, but so yeah, the short answer is probably not, but you can do some hacking. So for example, what I will do if you ask me, so I can create like different frames of SVG inside my Figma prototype, and since I have like let's say like 20 screens, let's say, I can use the smart animate feature that we have in the prototype in Figma, and I can animate those SVG. But exporting the animation to SVG and Lottie is not possible that yet.
We hope that answered your question, Wong. Yeah, folks, so we're going to stay on for a few more minutes. If you have any question, do drop them on the live chat. And in the meantime, Xiang and Dan, any more hacks, tips that you would like to show?
Yeah, so it's not like a tip, but also I know that sometimes when you're starting working in After Effects, it feels overwhelming. For that, we have free courses. So we have 3 different courses of really master designers that they actually simplify the ways that you can work with After Effects and then export it into Lottie and use it like that. So you just can enter to lottiefiles.com/course, and over there you will see like if you take like 2 days of your week, you'll be mastering Lottie like yeah, like these guys that they are gurus on the animation. So the only thing is exactly that's, thank you so much. So that this is the page. So you just can enter here, and these are for free, and not because it's for free, yeah, the course is not worth it. Actually, this is worth it. Probably we are giving here like $5,000 for free. So I'm telling you, you just can enter here and just hear from these guys all the different tips and tricks that how you can create a Lottie using After Effects. I totally recommend you. And if you are like a marketer or just probably starting a newbie that maybe you are not so into After Effects, so again, you can use all our different tools that we talk about it. And yeah, we have these different plugins, not only for After Effects, Figma, or the design tools, but we also have for tools like Notion, like Jira, the blogging tool Ghost. We have for Google Slides. I mean, you name it. So don't feel afraid. If you, for example, you are creating a Google Slides page and you just want to add an animation, just come here, select any of these, boom, there you go. So feel free. I mean, the sky is the limit, and you have the free library. You just can play with it. So just go crazy with that.
Yeah, just go crazy. Exactly. Speaking for experience, I don't have any like motion graphic experience. I'm purely a like graphic design, a bit of UI UX before
Don't
touching
be so
Lottie. But
humble, man.
yeah, I mean, I'm serious. I had no experience using AE before, and picking up like doing simple like micro animations using LottieFiles yeah, to put in like the apps I was working in my first job. It was a learning experience that I think is just a really good skill to learn, because like you know
Yeah.
the ins and outs of the things, and no better way to do it but yourself. Pick it up. It's fun. I recommend it. So yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the
And
promotion from Xiang and Dan.
and one more thing that probably people will also love, if you want to just to follow along, and because this live session will be recorded, we have the exercise file over here. So you just can enter to any of the things that we talk about it, and just play with it, feel free to use any of these assets in your work. No problem with that. And yeah, I mean, you know, don't be scared so much about motion, and yeah, just think about it that this is the future. And I think it will step up, your prototyping game. And who knows, next time when you will be talking with stakeholders, the CEO or some other developers, you will look so good, like a super pro designer. So yeah, just go for it.
Thanks so much, Dan. The link to the demo file, we'll also share it on the live chat. And if you check out the YouTube video description, we've also added the link over there. Right. I
Nice.
think that's all the time that we have today. So thank you so much once again, Xiang and Dan, for all the insights. I'll be moving you folks backstage to wrap up the live stream for today.
Bye,
Okay.
everyone. Take care.
Thank you so much, guys. See you.
Thank you once again, everyone, for tuning in. We hope you had a great time and enjoyed the session. If you'd like to rewatch it, you can find the recording on LottieFiles social channels. The team has a lot more live stream coming your way. In fact, if you'd like to level up your prototype game, we have another live stream happening next week. We will drop the link to the event in the live chat. Lastly, would love to hear your feedback about this live stream. We'll also be selecting a few lucky winners from the submission to receive some cool LottieFile swags. So don't forget to include your email address in the feedback form to stand a chance to win. And if you're interested to be part of our Lottie community initiative to host awesome live streams such as today, or even be a speaker at one, you can state your interest in the feedback form. With that said, thank you for tuning in, and we hope to see you again real soon.